Join me as I get my planner set up for this week. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com. I'm super excited. All of the holiday spreads this month in my planner. Today we're going to do a vertical style spread using Christmas Stickers Volume 4 from Kellofaplan. I'm super excited. I'm thinking perhaps going with a little bit of a quirky look to start with the Christmas sweaters. I would call them ugly Christmas sweaters, but you guys, I think they're actually pretty darn cute. So we're going to play with this set on a vertical spread and see what we can come up with. All right, I'm going to put you all on fast forward. I will link everything that I use down below. Let's go. I have switched to a vertical layout for the month of December. This is the very first style of layout that I used from the Happy Planner when I switched to the disc-bound method years ago. It makes a lot of sense, this layout. You can divide it up in several different ways. You can use it for schedule, morning, noon, night, that type of thing. You can use it for schedule in one place, a checklist in another place, maybe additional information in a third place. Maybe you're tracking habits. There's all kinds of ways to divide up the vertical layout. I happen to find the vertical layout the easiest to decorate, probably because I've done it the most. But I think because there's so much room in this layout and so many options, there are times that it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So as you are deciding how you want to decorate your layout, the first thing you need to decide is where are your different functional things going to be? Where are you going to keep a checklist? Where are you going to keep your schedule? And for me, what makes the most sense is to have the top row of boxes be schedule. This middle row of boxes where you see me putting down checklist stickers, that is where I keep my daily to-dos, tasks that need to be done. The bottom row, I give myself a little bit more freedom. Some weeks I'm tracking habits. Some weeks I have extra lists down there. Some weeks I use that as a place to highlight special events, people's birthday, anniversaries, things like that. So I give myself a little bit more freedom and leadway down in that bottom section of boxes. Thinking through in advance where the functionality is going to be gives you a little bit of guidance as far as where the decorative elements are going to be. So I started this spread with some washi tape at the bottom left and upper right. This washi tape is actually from Plannything. I love her grid washi. I think I would use it all of the time if I could. It's just so functional. She has it in so many different colors. If you haven't checked out Plannything, it's really, really affordable as well. So please go check out Plannything and her washi. I do have a link down below and a coupon code. I'm going to use the washi to bring in color along the edges. I need these to be functional spreads. It's December. December is the month of crazy. There is so much that happens in the month of December. I need to write all of the things. My kids have started winter sports because guess what? We're a sports family and we have sports all year round. There's a ton of to-dos. There's extra parties and extra events. So I need this to be really, really functional. So I'm going to make sure that I have those elements in place, lots of schedule, lots of lists. I need to be able to write. So I tend to decorate around the edges so that I can really maximize my writing space on my spread. My most common way of using washi tape is actually just to do a full straight line down the bottom and a full straight line across the top. I love this kind of staggered layered look. It picks up several of the colors that are within the ugly sweater set from Kellofaplan and just adds a little bit more interest because it's not all the way across. I like the jagged lines. I think it's kind of an interesting look. So I'm going to mirror on each side where the lines are going to be, just layering that on, and I'll do the same thing on the left-hand side of the spread as well. I think of the washi tape as a background element. And what I mean by background element is it's almost as if it's already printed on the page. I have no problem layering stickers over the top of it. I have no problem putting boxes on it. I just like changing it up and using that instead of a pure white background on the page, using the washi tape as a way to add interest in that background idea. So I will complete doing this kind of peachy color. I love the array of colors that Plannything has because I was able to pull colors that really really coordinated with this kind of quirky color scheme for the ugly Christmas sweaters that Kellofaplan had chosen. All right, let's talk about functionality. I love a double box. To me, a double box makes a ton of sense in this corner over the weekend because oftentimes you have events that kind of span an entire weekend. You might have to-dos, you might have lists that you're working on throughout a whole weekend. So I love a double box over there. I'm going to layer a few of the ugly sweaters. Anytime I'm putting down a functional box, I'm considering how I'm going to have a decorative element near it as well. So let's put those two sweaters there. I do want to balance it out with two sweaters in the upper left. So I love the group sticker right here. Very cute. Now I feel like there's a good balance happening. It's time to really think of functional boxes. And when I say functional, I do mean functional. Let's go ahead and fill in a few bullet points. I have a lot going on, so I can't necessarily distribute my boxes evenly and symmetrically. There's certain days of the week that have a lot of events, and then days like Fridays that tend to not have as many events as far as my kids' activities go. So I do end up being a little what I would call like lopsided or weighted differently just because I need this to be what our actual schedule is. I don't have the space to just disperse the boxes as I would in a completely artistic way. Now that we have our whole middle row ready to go, great checklist, great bullet points, lots of tasks, let's start putting on boxes. Lots of events. Mondays and Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are all gymnastics. We have baseball on Mondays. We have bassoon lessons. So boxes for all three of those, trying to make them color-wise make a little bit more sense, which the peach box was going a little bit more into the sweater and it was kind of disappearing. So love that stack. We do have things on Wednesdays. We have so many activities on Thursdays that it doesn't make sense to do individual boxes. I really like having a large box on Thursday. Kind of the same thing for Wednesdays, is there's a lot going on. So I want to make sure I have room to write it all, and we will layer just one little box in for Tuesday, trying to figure out the best place. If I bring that box down low, it gives me more writing room up top. So that works out well. I want to bring in yellow over on the right-hand side of the spread because we have the big yellow sweater over on the left-hand side. So I'm going to make sure to bring that. Like I said, Thursdays needs a really big box. This particular Saturday, I know that there's a gymnastics meet. I know that there's track, and I know that there's a Christmas musical that I think there will be rehearsals for. There's so many things going on. It's kind of crazy. And so that's why getting my planner set up in advance, ready to fill in for the week, is going to be super, super helpful. Now, I mentioned when I'm decorating that my boxes don't always end up balanced as far as number of boxes on each side, but I do try to make sure the color is balanced on each side, meaning red box on the left, then I match up with the red box on the right. Pink boxes on both sides, blue boxes, that type of thing. Making sure that the color is moved throughout the spread is really, really helpful. And now let's work on a few little decorative elements that we can add in. Another spot for a sweater, because like I said, Friday tends to be our open night, which is always very welcome to have a family movie, especially during the Christmas season. I feel like this space down here is a little bit wide open, so I thought I could probably bring in another box here, and this could possibly be a box where I'm tracking habits during the week. So we're going to leave this kind of open for now, and then as the week gets here, I can decide what habits am I looking at, what do I want to use this extra functional box for. We'll layer it right here, but I actually want to pull up the sticker and have the sweater be in front. There we go. I love how this is coming together. It's so fun. It's a lot of seasonal sticker spreads or seasonal planner spreads throughout the month. So I love the quirky colors of this particular set because you get a little bit tired of the traditional red and green. It's nice to have some different ones incorporated. Okay, so I would love to hear from you down below. I love decorating the vertical layout. I'm very excited to be using the vertical layout. What layout is your favorite to decorate, and what layout do you find to be the most functional for your schedule? So I happen to think the dashboard incredibly functional. I love decorating the vertical. I might have some sort of compromise coming up for 2025 where I am perhaps using a checklist layout. I think that will work really well. We'll see. I'm still finalizing my 2025 choices. I cannot wait to bring that whole setup series to you in the next couple of weeks. All right, the last thing to do for this spread is to go ahead and date it at the top. I'm going to pull stickers from Mojo Jojo Plan's Date It Basics sticker book, and that's going to be it. Let me know what you think of this spread down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button because like I mentioned, I do have a whole setup series coming in the month of December, and you're not going to want to miss out on all the info about 2025 planner setup. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my entire Patreon community. We're having the best time working on a group memory keeping project the month of December, and then wait till you hear what is happening in Patreon for 2025. It's going to be great. So if you want to know more, head on over to patreon.com/ScrappyWife. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.